Good afternoon, Facebook. Hi guys, we're coming live today from Rythmia Life Advancement Center in Guanacaste, Costa Rica. Today we're going to be talking about miracles and the miracle of the week and everything that goes along with that. I'm just going to wait for this to build for 1 second and see if we can't... Hey, hi guys, fantastic. Okay, great. Again, thanks for coming today. We're going to talk about what Rythmia is about real quickly and how it can help and how it can affect and change your life. And the kind of week, it was an incredible week here. We're a Life Advancement Center in Costa Rica. We use sacred plant medicine and metaphysical teachings to bring about enormous change in people's lives. And we had a super powerful week. It's been a really, really, really powerful week. And before I get talking about the miracles that happened this week while we're here, I want to talk a little bit about what it is we do and how I fit into this thing. So I was a multimillionaire. I sold a company that I owned for about $90 million and about 10 years ago, and I was terribly, terribly, terribly unhappy, suicidal, tried to commit suicide twice, couldn't figure out what was wrong with me, and this miracle of plant medicine and grace saved my life and made me a better person. And I just decided that this is what I wanted to do for people, to create a place where this could happen to other people. And it's amazing because every week, this week we had maybe 70 people here, maybe 60 people here, maybe 70. I forget if it was 60 or 70, but somewhere between 60 and 70 people. And I don't believe one of them is going to be leaving without having this miracle happen to them. And the miracle that I'm talking about is, as a result of this plant medicine, I was shown something. I was shown that all of us in life, I have to get this right, all of us in life have this point where we break and we leave ourselves to become someone else. And I know this sounds crazy and old-fashioned, this thing, but we're born and something happens in our life between about when we're conceived and about 5 years old, and we become someone else. And this process of becoming someone else is very natural and part of the life system. And it's designed to have our consciousness expand. But eventually, that feeling of not being in ourselves creates this thing. So this separation of us, all disease, all addiction, all disorders, and all sadness, comes from this separation. And the miracle that happens here is that we put people back together. And when we put them back together, they go through life in a completely different way. And I mean completely different way. People are just happy and excited and on fire to live. And now what's interesting is that for the 2 years that we've been open here, we've really been focusing on sacred plant medicine and metaphysics and putting them all together and having this miracle happen for people. And lately, because the place does different things, we have the metaphysics, we have the plant medicine, we have transformational breath work and organic food and yoga and all kinds of stuff that you put it together and this thing happens. But lately, a lot of people have been getting their miracle in the transformational breath work part of the program. And it's becoming so frequent that we're starting a program in May that deals only with transformational breath work. So it's going to be a 1-week retreat each month that doesn't have plant medicine, because we've found that some people can't medically qualify for the plant medicine, and we really have found a way to bring about the miracle in the same way as the plant medicine without using it for certain people. So I mean, this is something that's new and happening to us. Now every week, I'd love the chance to interview every guest who's ever been here every week, but we don't have the opportunity to do that. But each week I pick a guest and for unique reasons. And this week we have a really, really interesting guest. I'm going to introduce in a second. I want to tell you guys, hi Vivian, I want to tell you guys that are watching that during the thing, if you have a question, you can just type it in, and we'll do our best to answer that question while we're going. Hi Megan, I can't wait to see you in May. Megan, great to see you. Okay, so I'd like to introduce our friend Brad. Brad, come here for a second. And you can get in there. Let's see. Let me see, Brad. Okay, good. Brad, where are you from, Brad?
Toronto.
From the T-Dot, okay? And what do you do in Toronto?
I'm in the warranty and insurance business.
Uh-huh. And how long have you been in your business?
25 years.
25 years. And would you consider yourself a very spiritual person?
Not traditionally, no.
Uh-huh.
No.
And let me ask you, but not traditional. So a lot of people that come here are like hippie-ish, right? And that was not you,
No,
correct?
it was not me.
And so
those days are long ago.
So you know, as a business owner and a successful business owner, like life ticks on and this and that and this, and we have a mutual friend, Luke Sellers, who was a one-time hockey player, and a crazy guy who I really, really love. And he was
He's my personal trainer.
Your personal trainer,
gym,
at your gym. And hey Michael, hi Heidi. And he said to you, hey, what? How did this? Tell me the conversation.
Well, I was working out because I had gained weight and wanted to lose the weight. And he basically said to me one day, your problem isn't working out. Your problem's in your head. You got to figure some shit out. So, it takes, you're working all the time, and how do you ever think you're going to, be able to do that? You're at the office all the time. You can already get to work every day. So, basically he suggested meditation and as kind of adding something to the personal training. So I started to do that, and we got a lot out of it. 20 minutes a morning, and then I was going to go away, basically take a break from work. Wanted to go to an all-inclusive, but not one where I was going to come back 5 pounds or 20 pounds heavier than when I started. And Luke said, you know what, if you want to go someplace that will change your life, try Rythmia.
So this is what's interesting about this, because you remind me of me, only you're a much more normal version of me.
Whatever normal is.
But a business owner, a long time, you're making good money, you're in the 1%ers, and things just, something's missing a little bit, right?
Yeah, well, I got to realize I'm spending more time at work than really any other area in my life. And the crazy thing about it is I really do encourage people that work at the company to take time.
But you weren't doing it.
I wasn't doing it.
Exactly. Yeah. And this is the crazy part of this whole thing, right? So hippies do have to grow up. Not always, Rita. Not always. We're hanging there. But so you're in this thing, and honestly, like when I saw you, I thought, this is probably the last guy I would ever expect to see in this place. So, because I knew a little bit about you, Luke told me a little bit about you, and he's crazy to start with. I was even shocked that you knew a guy like that. And I love Luke, and an amazing dude. What a heart he is. But when I saw that, and then I saw you, and you went through the first week. So, what did you think when you? Well, first off, let me ask you this. So Luke said something, you go online and you look at it, and you think, or you didn't even look at it?
You know what, I was going to go someplace else, and I just thought, I'm going to come back, having drank too much and eaten too much. And he's like, if you want to change your life, go to Rythmia. And I'm like, I trust the guy, it's like a friend, he says, hey, try this. And I'm like, well, okay, so, I wanted to go somewhere, how bad could it be, Costa Rica, an all-inclusive. Yeah. So I within a week and a half, I was here.
And so you get here, hey Victoria, you get here and you see this place, and what's your first thoughts? It's good. Really tell me.
Yeah, no, be a good place to relax for the week.
Just like another thing. And so you go to the talk on Monday, and you hear this thing about, show me who I become, merge me back with my soul and heal my heart, and you think it's what? Tell me what.
I think it sounds great.
Uh-huh.
Probably happens to a lot of other people, and I'll still have a relaxing week.
Uh-huh. So it resonated, but you didn't think what happened?
No.
Uh-huh. And did you kind of for a minute think you were in the wrong place? Ever? No.
I would kind of took the approach, well, this will be an experience. It's an experiment. It's a little out there, and I don't do a lot of out there things.
Uh-huh.
So kind of why not?
And in your regular life, you're a super responsible guy. You're not a huge drinker. You're not a lunatic.
No,
you're a working guy.
I have a couple of businesses and a lot of people that work there, and it's a lot. Yeah, you're running a company.
Yeah.
Really, 7 days a week.
So for a guy who was in this position to come down and decide to drink ayahuasca, that's a big thing, actually.
I had heard of it, so I had no idea. But I had heard of it. I had a friend that years ago did this, so I had a level of curiosity, certainly not a level of understanding. And again, I trusted Luke, and Luke had said, if you want to, this place will change your life.
Okay, so let's say this. So you get down here, you go to that class, you meet me. I say fuck more than any person you've ever met in your life, I'm sure. And you think, oh, this place is crazy. And then that night you go and you drink medicine.
Right.
And tell me about a little bit about
just a lot of awarenesses, like a lot of memories coming back, like shit that you forgot about in your childhood, and you're like, okay, that's weird. I thought I was over that. Right. And you just kind of have a lot of memories coming back, a lot of your childhood, shit you thought didn't affect you. Right? And you're like, okay, that had an impact.
So in the medicine, I'm going to tell you, we believe that anything that's coming up is going and being healed, and we want like you to know that experiencing these things is actually a real big part of the healing. I want to say one thing before I get into this, that if you think there's anybody out there who would benefit from this, please share this now. Please share this and just click the bottom of the screen and share it with someone. It's going to help a lot of people. So all of a sudden you're just seeing these things and recalling things. Did you get sick at all?
No.
None. Fantastic. And that's a big seller, because most people get sick as shit.
Yeah.
So that happens the first night, and you get these awarenesses, and then you have to have some kind of thought that you think to yourself, oh, this is pretty...
I'm out of here.
I'm out of here?
Yeah.
That's good.
Yeah.
So this is the truth. So after that shit, you're like, let me get...
I'm like, tomorrow I'm out of here, I'll go to the beach. Right?
I love that. I love that. Now here's where he's very like everybody else. There's not a person who comes here that by Monday, Tuesday, or Wednesday does not want to leave, okay? Because it's a big emotional thing that's happening. So tell me about the second night.
Second night, a lot of the same thing. Some people were saying, I had a great night. I'm like, not me, right? I'm like, at one point I was like, how many bad memories can I have? At one point I kind of said to myself, how can all these memories be about me? Then I realized, well, you can't have a memory that isn't about you.
That's really bright. That's brilliant, actually. I like that a lot, right?
Right.
And so, at the time, though, can I say something?
Sure.
You, from a personal standpoint, if those things that were coming up, you had forgot, and you thought, oh, my childhood, my growing up, I was pretty unaffected.
Yeah, you think, I'm fortunate my parents are still alive, and I love them very much. They love me. You kind of, I thought I grew up in a strict home with high standards, and I think it was a little bit more than that. So very strict home with really, really high standards that were hard to live into.
And so, the second night, did you get sick?
No.
Good man. And so he's going to be selling like hotcakes after this. And by the way, if you're there and you have questions about any of this, I'll try to answer them near the end of this. But please dial this number, because we have operators standing by to answer any questions you have. You don't have to book a vacation, you don't have to do anything, but they're there to answer questions. So now it comes to Wednesday. And Wednesday night is generally a deep night.
Yeah, it was. Yeah.
And tell me about that.
Just more of the same. Like you're like, you know, I'm 52. I'm like, okay, there's 52 years of stuff that you've been kind of dealing with, and you know, certainly thought I had dealt with things well. And you're going back and you're looking at different aspects of your life and going, I did not handle that well at all. Lots of situations where I had, you know, really thought it was the other person's fault. You know, fault and what, you know, I didn't have a role or responsibility. I realized I did. So a lot of self-awareness. Like a lot of things that, wow. And a lot of things that I saw I didn't like.
Okay, so now, in this thing that we do, this show me who I become, and then merge me back with my soul. You see, until you know who you've become, your soul is kind of inclined to not want to merge back with you. So the first step of this is to say, what has all of these things that happened in my life made me into? And that's the key part. So now you're seeing some of these things, and who you thought you were, and who you see yourself as start to take on a little bit of different thing, right?
Right. In my case, I realized that a lot of these things really drove me to put in the time at the office that I had. Right?
Interesting.
Yeah. The wanting to achieve, and I would say in my particular case, it wasn't wanting to achieve; it was really needing to.
Absolutely.
Right. So
that's why you did it. By the way, that's why you win.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. Well, you're driven, and you know, I certainly have friends that would say, you know, I'm driven, and I've never questioned before why I was driven. So this was really, well, why are you so driven? And I always thought it was a good thing.
Yep. And
what I realized was a lot of those things that were driving me, that if I was aware of it, I wouldn't choose it.
Interesting. And that you are like considered a workaholic, right?
I would never have used that term. Right?
Would other people use that term when describing it?
Yeah. I think
okay, there you go. So that's the easy one. So Wednesday night comes and goes, and Wednesday night is generally a really deep night. Did you cry up till then?
No.
Okay. So Thursday night is another deep night, and what happens Thursday?
A lot of the same. I mean, by this point, I'm like, you know, okay, I don't want to be dealing with all this, and you know, but it was another night of dealing with it.
So you had a lot of shit in there.
I had a lot more than I thought.
Yeah. And so, but what's interesting with you is that so Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday come and go, and you're still not getting the whole picture yet, right? Tell me, I don't want to put words in.
I didn't know what the whole picture was, right? So, you know, on Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, I'm like, okay, there's a lot of stuff. Like, I started to understand why I was driven, you know, the way I was. Realized that I hadn't chose to be driven by these things. I just was, and you know, it was a good process. I thought I got a lot out of that. I thought I had a great week at that point. Not an easy week, but certainly a week that was, you know, deep understandings of who I was, and why I was this way,
and why you're the way that you are,
yeah.
And that's a key piece too, is to find out why, right? And so now from my standpoint, as someone who's trying to get this thing to happen, I would say then you're like 3/4 cooked, right? So there's still another piece that has to happen,
right?
But you don't know what it is until it happens, right?
Yeah.
So tell me what goes down next.
So on Friday night they do a breath work session, and really you just learning how to breathe deeply, right? And I'm like, okay, this will be good for relaxing.
Yeah.
and it wasn't so relaxing. It kind of brought all this stuff up, and I could just kind of feel my chest almost releasing, would be the only way to describe it. And like just a lot of emotion, like a lot of all these things that, you know, I kind of not dealt with. They happen to you, you move on. Yeah. Lost some good friendships over the years for business reasons.
Yep.
And you kind of go, well, that's too bad, but you deal with all this stuff. And then lying there on a pillow breathing, all of a sudden it all comes out. And it was a pretty amazing experience.
And so like, because you're such a humble guy, like, and you speak in very controlled ways. So let me get into that a little bit. So did you cry on Friday?
Oh, Friday, yeah, I lost it.
Lost it.
Lost my shit would be, yeah, to put it bluntly.
And like I can look at you and I can know what that is, you know, and were you expected? First off, did you have any hallucinations while you're breathing?
Not while I was breathing. No.
Okay, because a lot of people do get them in there.
Yeah.
And were you on your back or your stomach?
It was on my back.
You're on your back, and then all of a sudden, the totality of all this stuff popped up.
Yeah, well, they're saying you might feel some energy moving through your body, and of course, I probably won't feel energy moving through my body, but that's nice. That's nice if it happens, or for some people, you know. And I started to shake like there was a tuning fork in my hands. It was crazy.
And then the emotions came up, and then the release came up.
And just feel like a whole new person afterwards.
And after that, would you think now? Do you believe that you got a miracle?
Oh, absolutely. Like absolutely. When you first said the first day, you know, 98% of the people here get a miracle. I'm like, I won't ruin your stats, Jerry. Like, I just won't answer that survey. You know, this won't happen. This won't happen to me. I'm here for a couple days to relax. And Friday night, I'm like, holy shit! Like, holy shit! I'm like, this was miraculous. Like, I just felt like, you know, all that came out. You know, stuff that you didn't even know you had. But you know it's your own shit. Yep. You know, so you know that none of that's what's coming out isn't your stuff. So I'm there Friday night going, yeah, I had a miracle. So
and I'm gonna tell you what, then like you look like a different guy.
I felt like a different guy.
You have a clarity about you, and that a peace that's going on, and it's interesting because we're all so different, right? But yet we fall into some kind of types.
Yeah.
And a business guy that's being pushed as a kid to be successful, and then relating their own identity with everything about business and success and how great of a provider am I, and these people I'm responsible for, and we're creating jobs and we're doing these things, and that becomes who you are when in fact it's not.
Right, and that I think was the realization.
Right.
And
that's the golden ticket, right?
Yeah.
So
which is pretty incredible.
It is pretty incredible.
Like to go away for a week and come back and go, wow, you know, my identity has been really closely related to my business. And I think people that know me wouldn't be surprised by that, but I never saw it.
Isn't it amazing though? And when I think of people, and you know, the thing that's so beautiful about our hearts is that of those 60 or 70 people, they're in ages, let's say I'd say that one girl's 19 or 20, and to people our age, right? And older, from all different walks of life.
Yeah.
Like, it's crazy how like varied.
You couldn't have picked a different crowd.
Right.
Like you couldn't have, I mean, if you were random out of a lottery from people around the world, that's what you'd end up with.
Just crazy different crowd, right?
Yeah.
And yet the experience, the end result,
it's been the same with everyone.
Same with everyone.
Yeah.
And that's what I'm telling you. And that's why if you're, you know, if you think that you're not going to fit or that it's only for a particular type of person, nothing can be further from the truth. This thing, this love is for everyone, and it so makes a difference in your life, and you don't even know yet because you're not home yet, but I guarantee you your wife is not going to know you. That like she's going to see a side of you that she probably hasn't seen in a long time.
I don't think she'll be disappointed. It's probably the better, this is the better side.
Yeah. I like that. Yeah. I like that a lot.
Actually, even her seeing a side of me would be new. I've spent a lot of time at work.
Yeah, so seeing you in general,
yeah,
right? Yeah. And I'm telling you, that's sort of what happens here is that when that vibration changes, and when you merge back with your soul, and then one thing that happens next then is your heart gets healed. So who have I become? Merging back with my soul, heal my heart. Once that heart is healed, you vibrate in a way that you're unfamiliar with vibrating, and it makes everything around you different. So the context of everything changes as a result of your change. And that's like the beautiful part of this place. And I have to tell you what, that there's not a person who gets here that doesn't look like they just saw a ghost when they arrived. They look like, well, these people are weird, and I don't think I made the right choice, and
This place isn't for me.
it's not for me, and not only that, but I'm not going to get it. I'm not going to get what everybody else is getting, because I'm not good enough or smart enough, or worthy enough, or weird enough, or whatever thing you want to put on it. But nobody really believes they're going to get it, and everybody gets it. And this is like today when I was saying goodbye to you guys, and we have a closing group today, and I was crying because of what I see. Like I'm the luckiest guy in the world. I have the best job in the world. There's no greater job than the job that I have, where I get to see this happen every single week of my life, and it's just amazing. So if you guys have any questions you'd like to ask, I don't know how to do this thing here, but okay, there it is. So if you have questions, hang on a sec. Now I do know. Hang on a sec. Let me ask questions. I saw someone say, how do I know who's going to get sick? Well, let me ask you this. You didn't get sick at all.
No.
You didn't throw up?
No.
You didn't have diarrhea?
I had diarrhea.
Okay.
Yeah.
So it's going to come...
But just one night.
One night of it?
Yeah.
Uh-huh. Now I'm going to say he's the vast minority that almost everybody else is going to get sick. And by sick, I don't mean sick. They're going to get well. This type of throwing up that's done is done in a different way. It's actually incredibly healing. It's a really healing thing. Does anybody have any questions? I love energy. It's part of posting. Let's see. Jennifer Kraninsky, so happy. What is your view on smoking? On smoking weed or smoking cigarettes? So this is my view on both. The certain plants like other plants, and the thing, ayahuasca is not really a fan of marijuana, and I'm gonna tell you what else it's not a fan of. It's not a fan of anything you're attached to. So if you're attached to something, it's not gonna like it. So people who are recreational smokers are gonna not feel that thing like people who are really addicted to weed. So,
But a couple people this week have already given up smoking.
yeah. Now cigarettes is funny too, because if you're addicted to it, it's going to distance you from it. So I was a terrible alcoholic. I was a really good alcoholic. I could go, and the want to drink. I could never say no to anything. I was the kind of guy. The only thing I couldn't resist was temptation of any kind. If it was fun, I was in, and I couldn't help myself. And I used to try like different techniques for not drinking. Like I'd say, okay, I'm going to put 5 pennies in this pocket, and each time that I have a drink, I'm going to put 1 penny in this, and it would never fucking work. I couldn't stop doing it. And now the desire to drink is gone. I actually have a hard time drinking because I don't want to do it. So, and I'll tell you something that's crazily true. I can go out and order a glass of wine and not finish it, and not finish it because I don't want to, not finish it because it won't go in. It's like it's something inside me knows it's not good for me. But if you guys have any other questions, I'll answer them when I get back to my computer. I wanna tell you that number one, we'd love to see you here. We really would love to see you here. It'd give us an opportunity to meet. I hope that you guys come and experience this thing. What is your word opinion about people who are in a particular religion? Okay, so watch this. So this is interesting. So, and I'll get to the cigarettes one in a second, but religions. So the most interesting thing that I see is how there isn't a religion in the world that this is in conflict with. So people that have a close association with Jesus tend to see Jesus, but they see everybody else too. They see Jesus, they see Buddha, they see the energy, they see Mother Ayahuasca. So really, I don't even really have an opinion on organized religion, and but certainly it wouldn't be in conflict with anything. And
I was just going to add one point on that too. That what was important for me is that this isn't a religion.
Right.
Right.
Yeah.
I wasn't seeking a religion.
No.
Right. So coming here and going through a week or two at Rythmia, you haven't found a religion.
Right.
You really have found yourself.
And that's
the big difference.
I love that. So that is amazing to me. I love how you said that. What do you think it distances you to the cigarettes when you're addicted? Okay, so now here's the thing. So with me and the cigarettes, right? So the plant medicine kind of makes you not want to do the things that you have a draw to. Because the whole thing is a breaking down of everything that you thought you were. So when you think I'm a smoker, I'm a cigarette smoker, or I'm addicted to porn or a porno or this or that, what it does is it breaks all those cords, and all of a sudden you're faced with just you, and who are you to you? And that's the real thing. Like me getting to know me. You said something to me before. You said, "Oh, hi, I'm Brad."
Oh,
Tell me about
that. Was in the breath work. I had this, real sense of almost like myself coming back, and I didn't obviously hear it out loud, but I could hear it clearly. Like, "Hello, Brad. It's nice to meet you." And it was a pretty emotional experience.
How great is that?
Yeah.
How great is that?
Yeah, it was pretty awesome. I mean, so I found myself answering back, "It's nice to meet you." And I would think that for a lot of times, a lot of my life, maybe all of my life, I never really knew myself. Which sounds crazy, but it really, that would be the experience.
So somebody told you 2 months ago that, Brad, you don't even know who the fuck you are. You would say to them, "You're out of your fucking mind. I know exactly who I am. I'm Brad. I live here. I do this. This is my job. Da 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 da."
Yeah, I thought I knew what I did and what I was doing, but I didn't know who I was.
Who you really were.
Yeah.
So this is the beauty of the medicine, though. This is the beauty of the breath work. That's my dog. It's the beauty to get to know who you are. And the breath work actually said, "Say hi to yourself." This is crazy. This is
Well,
can I say how old you were?
Yeah, I'm 52.
A 52-year-old guy.
Yeah.
Say hi to yourself.
Yeah, and really getting something out of it. It wasn't, and no one's telling you to do that. Like, it's just, "Hello, Brad. It's nice to meet you." It's pretty powerful.
It's amazing stuff. I'm gonna get my dog 1 second. Hang on a sec. This is crazy.
Jerry, someone had a question there about did I remember things that I hadn't realized before? There was a question there.
So ask that about that. Tell me.
Yeah. Well, one of the things I did not want was these kind of fake memories. So that was one of my concerns. Is I don't want to make shit up, and so everything I remembered, like I knew happened. I just didn't realize the impact that had at the time on my life. Does that make sense?
Yeah. So something that you thought was like, oh, you just got made fun of in school is no big. You rolled on to the next day or whatever.
Yeah.
But all of a sudden, in review, it had a fucking huge impact on your heart,
right,
or on your direction or something.
Yeah. I didn't make a hockey team. I was like, okay, well, there's other teams, there's other sports, right? And then you go back and you go, oh, fuck, like, did that ever hurt? Right?
See, so that's the part of, and that's incredibly important stuff. I have this urgent calling that has stopped me in my tracks. Is this normal with the people who visit Rythmia?
Yes. Let me answer that one.
I want to.
Yeah, and people I've talked to, I only went because I had someone that said, "Hey, go," and the week was there, and I was like, "Why not?" I mean, I'm 52, and really, I wish I would have done this 25 years ago. I know you weren't open, but I mean, that's good. I mean, the reason I didn't do it 25 years ago is you weren't open, but I would definitely. It really is. I mean, it's life changing. That's what Lick had said. If you want to change your life, try this, and that doesn't really resonate until you've been here.
Thank you for saying that. Yes, when you are aligned with your soul, you would never poison yourself. Yeah, true. So like when you are aligned with your soul, merged with your soul, it's really hard to do bad things, because what we kind of believe here is that this person who you left, this little soul, is your little boy or your little girl, and when you're back with them, you wouldn't do anything to hurt them, ever do anything to hurt them. And so, hi Jane, how you doing? Hi Adam. Well, I wanted to say this. So listen, if you think you're too old, you're out of your mind. If you think you're too normal, you're out of your mind. If you think you're too far out, you're out of your mind. This place has this effect on everybody, and I mean, it's crazy. It looks like a wild United Nations, but it is disproportionately Canadian. I will say that there's a lot of Canadians.
This week there's a lot of Canadians.
There's a lot of Canadians. So guys, listen, Christy, my life is better than ever. Great, Christy. Hi, Jane. I want to tell you guys that I want to thank you for tuning. Every day the world is appearing the complete opposite to what I've ever thought it was. Gemma, thank you for saying that, because it is the opposite of whatever you thought it was. That's the beauty, right? Okay, so guys, listen. If you have any questions and you're late to this, or you see this on record and you ask the questions, I will get to them today. And I want to thank you guys for tuning in. I hope that we helped you in some way. And the real thing that today I wanted to talk about is that the breathwork programs are coming. So if you've been disqualified from the medicine because of medical reasons, we want you to come in to experience this, because the miracles happen in breathwork as well. So if you have any questions, please, guys, ask them, and we'd love to see you here. I want to thank you, and I want to thank you, Brad, for being gutsy enough to do something. At a point in your life where a lot of people would say, "Well, you have enough of everything that you should never have to do something like this." But I'm so glad that you did.
I am too.
I'm so happy that you did it. And I want to ask you guys something. I have a little movie on YouTube called, I think it's called Mrs. Moon's Medicine, and it's on YouTube. It's Mrs. Moon's Medicine, MRS Moon's Medicine. Please take a look at it. It's really a little bit about the Rythmia story, about what happened to me, and about how my life has changed because of this stuff. So I'm in my most hi Auntie, hi Debbie, in my most sincere request, please come here. And what's happening is, because this thing is taking off, like this week we have Michael Bernard Beckwith from Agape. He's on Oprah's Super Soul Sunday. He's a close friend of mine. He's here, and then we have Dr. Mercola coming, and we have all these amazing
next week.
And Greg Braden next week. Yeah. Like lots of these people. Please, guys, call ahead of time and book, because everything in the future is getting booked out, and these miracles really happen, and they don't just happen to the person that I have sitting here. They happen to everybody that comes. So, I mean, by and large, 93-ish% of the people, 92.99 something percent, have this happen to them. And so please come on and do yourself a favor, and we'd love to meet you. And I look forward to seeing you all. So thank you again for tuning in. Thank you, guys. Thanks, Brad. And we'll see you soon, I hope, again.
Yeah.
Okay.